All right, guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. We are back in New York City with the man, the myth, the legend, Gypsy Crusader. We meet again. Nice to see you again. How's it been going since last time?
Oh man, everything's been going really good, man. I launched my new website, crusaders.gg. I'm working really well with my sponsor, duel.com. We got a bunch of great streamers on. They've been doing an awesome job. Growing all the time, spreading the message. It's been really, really amazing the past few months since I've seen you. How about you?
Yeah, I've seen you streaming a lot. I saw the new website. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously got banned.
I heard.
It's an unfortunate situation, but yeah, not much has changed. I'm just trying to keep, spreading the message. I've been trying to tone it down a bit, but I guess it doesn't matter. If you say the wrong opinions, doesn't matter really how you say them. They're still gonna go after you. That's kind of what I realized. So, yeah, I mean, I'm back in New York the past few days. It doesn't seem like much has changed here. I remember we actually had that clip. I posted on my Instagram a few days ago, reposted it, where we were talking about Mandami, and you said, I hope he wins. I hope this city goes.
I was happy. I was like, yeah, sure, fucking good. Let him win. And then I want to see pretty soon when he starts instituting mandatory hijab wearing for all the women. I want to see how that's going to go over. I'm excited to see when when start rioting and shit, and then he tells the cops not to go in, or even better, I hope that he tells the cops that they need to have social worker people, therapists go in and calm the rioters down. That's going to be really exciting. So I mean, hey, this is what the people voted for.
Yeah.
This is what they have, this belief, this idea that some is going to run this city better. And we're like London now. It's going to get worse than London.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, yeah, I guess kind of like you prophesized, Mandami won. But the crazy part is, if only white people voted, Mandami would have not won.
Oh, I know.
Como would have won. So, yeah, I mean, it just shows who's voting for them, why they want these people to come into the country, because they're obviously win. And it's like a never-ending loop. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what happens in New York. Some people are saying, he's saying all this stuff for show, and none of this is actually going to happen, which I am curious to see. I don't know how much worse New York could be, and I don't know what laws he could really implement.
It could definitely get a whole lot worse. I'm positive that it can. When he starts to try to institute some of these insane ideas, because he's going to try.
Yeah.
Because he's ran on it, and his base is going to expect him to make the government-run supermarket and to tax all of the landlords so that they can't fix their property and maintain it. And then he's going to demand every place on the Upper West Side, they're going to demand that they get the Section 8 in there and let them live there too. So he's going to have to play by some of those radical leftist rules. Those are his people. And like you said, those are the ones who voted for him. It wasn't white people that wanted him there. All the white people have enough sense to know. We know that he was going to ruin the city.
Yeah.
And he's only been in office for a very short time.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen is interesting, too, is when he does try to put some of these things into place, when they cut the federal funding, that's what's going to happen. And then all the people who are rich are going to leave this city. Not that they haven't left already, but more of them will leave. I'm positive.
I was actually at the protest yesterday. It was anti-ICE, anti-war, anti-Trump protest. And you mentioned about the white people. Actually, the majority of the people marching there were these white liberals.
Yeah, the white liberals.
And it was impossible to have a conversation with any of them. This one guy was just following us around everywhere. Anyone we tried to stop and talk to, he's like, don't talk to them.
Don't talk to them.
Yeah, they're trolls, they're agitators.
You're a bomb.
Yeah, so I mean, these people can't even defend their positions. They can't think for themselves. I went up to probably 50 people and tried asking them, why are you holding up the sign? Why do you have the beliefs? Define fascists, define, and none of them can do it. None of them actually know why they believe the things that they do. And they can't argue against them because it's an indefensible position.
To try to, how can I put this? To try to have any sort of logical conversation with them. I've been doing it for years with some.
Yeah.
it's right up there and impossible. It's like trying to tell a blind person what the color red is. It's never going to register.
Yeah.
So they would much rather just sit there, call you an evil, because if you're it's easy for someone to just say, oh, well, we can kill him. We could beat him up. We could rob him. We could do whatever to him because he's a.
Yeah.
No, my man, the best thing to do with them is, like I said, leave them in their filth.
Yeah.
Let them run the city. Let them ruin it. Mm-hmm. We could always take it back later by force. Because I feel like that's what's going to be needed at some point. You can't live with them.
No.
And then the white liberals, they're actively doing things for people who don't give a shit about them. The don't care about them. The look at them like they're idiots.
Yeah.
Like they're posers.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could take advantage of you. You're the bleeding heart. And you're bleeding out your heart for what? Like that dumb in Minnesota who got shot. And people are like, oh, well, she's white. Yes, she was white. But she's a white person who's been brainwashed by communism. It's very difficult to sway them and bring them over to our side. Sometimes you can, but a lot of times it's a lost cause.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about her. And if you actually see her, I saw a clip of this. She obviously got killed by ICE for trying to fucking run over an ICE agent like a moron. And then I saw a clip of some lady saying she deserved to die because to repent for all the sins white people have committed. So she died for the people, like you said, that don't give a shit about her and want her dead. So it's absolutely insane. And then the people are saying, oh, you guys are anti-white for celebrating her death. First of all, I'm not celebrating. It's an unfortunate situation. But like, what do you expect? Like, you want people to be deported. You want the demographics of the country to get better. And when ICE goes in and does their job, and some lunatic, psycho, liberal chick who hates white people,
she hates her own kind.
Yeah, hates her own people, gets in the way and gets shot.
We're supposed
that's
to
the game.
feel bad. Yeah. Why am I feeling bad?
No.
This person, this woman, and on top of that, if you look into her background, she was a child abuser. She's a lesbian.
Yeah.
She's a lesbian whose partner was abusing one of their children, putting out cigarettes on his arm.
I didn't see that.
No, that's just the truth.
Oh, wow.
So now you want me to feel bad for a who hates white people, who is white, who's a child abuser?
Yeah.
No. I'm not gonna. The world is a better place without her.
Yeah. So it seems like I guess things are starting to brew up again. I know we talked. I think it was obviously before the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It feels like a similar energy, but when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, like everyone was pissed off for like a week or two, and then things kind of simmered down. Nothing happened. Nothing changed.
Right.
Is this going to be a turning point finally, or is this just another circle jerk? This woman got killed. It's going to be protests for a week. And then everything goes back to, I guess, quote unquote, normal, but while it gets progressively worse.
Oh, wonderful. Such nice that walk by.
Oh Lord.
Well, I don't think. See, the thing with Charlie was it was really sad. I was hurt. I know a lot of people were too.
Yeah.
But we just don't have that. Like, we didn't react the way I was hoping people would.
Yeah.
The things that's going on in Minnesota, that helps our cause. Mm-hmm. When they go out and they destroy things because they didn't get their way, and they burn shit down, it makes normal people look at them and say, whoa, wait a second. These crazy right-wingers, like, maybe they're not so crazy, because we don't see them doing that.
Yeah.
One of the biggest advocates for their cause got killed, and there was not one store looted. Yeah. We didn't go to the Democratic National Committee and burn their place down. We didn't do that. We sat there, we mourned. You know what I mean? We tried to encourage one another. A lot of people came together. I seen Patriot Front guys go to Charlie Kirk's visuals, and they were accepted. Mm-hmm. Big thing, you know? Yeah. Nick Fuentes, another guy who was like against Charlie, you know, they were adversaries.
Yeah.
And he mourned him. Mm-hmm. Very classy thing to do. And we just didn't have that sort of reaction. like they're going to do now in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But let them do it. It only helps us in the long run, because the more that they burn, the more that they steal, that's just going to turn more people farther and farther right. There's nowhere else for you to go, because any normal, rational person doesn't want to act like that. Even if they're not, like, you're not political at all, you stay clear of all that shit, and you see it, you have to say to yourself, I would never act like this. This is inhumane.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. How is this helping? So I personally don't think it's not going to hurt us, is the way I see it.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm curious to see where these things escalate to, because right after that ICE shooting in Minneapolis, there was ICE shot actually 2 illegal Venezuelan gang members.
Nice.
Yeah, in Portland, Oregon, and they were trying to run over the ICE agents. I don't think there's a video of that, but yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there will. I saw some riots starting somewhere, and it's funny actually. When we were at the protest here in New York, there was some black people like walking around, and you could just tell they're waiting for someone to start rioting so they could go
because they
loot
want
their favorite pair of Balenciagas.
They want to run at the Foot Locker and have a shopping spree. That's what they want to do. Of course, they're opportunists at best.
Yeah.
They cannot and will never be able to help themselves. It's we don't need to live like this. We really don't. We all say it all the time, how we're always walking on eggshells around them. Even right now, we're walking through the city and doing this. We gotta watch where we're going, watch what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because you never know when Lamar is going to jump out of a fucking corner and try to stick you up for your wallet or snatch your chain off of you.
Yeah, like living more and more in Miami, like sometimes I'll just be out and about. And I've had this encounter multiple times. There'll be some like black homeless crackhead come up to me, like ask me for a cigarette or a fucking piece of change. And I'll either ignore him or say like, no, and like, I guess assertive tone. And these people will just chimp out. They're so entitled. They think I owe them money or I owe them a fucking cigarette.
Well, you're white, so you owe me money.
I guess I owe them fucking
Give me money, white boy.
But it is sick. That's why I travel so much to like some wider areas, because every time I stay in like Miami or come to New York for a little too long, I'm like, fuck, man. Like,
Yeah.
I can't be
you
here.
You get exhaustion being around here. Forget about fatigue. That shit's been out the window a long time now. I don't know, dude. Everything that has transpired over the past couple months, it's been very interesting to watch. But again, every time something like this, there's like a flashpoint. I see people's minds change. I see people come around, people who weren't involved in politics get involved or want to be educated. They follow people like you.
Yeah.
And they start down that pipeline.
Yeah.
I wish I knew, like I had a way to predict when it's going to come to a head.
Yeah.
I do think though it's definitely moving a lot. It's moving a lot faster than I thought it would.
Yeah.
With the ICE things, the only reason that the left is freaking out is not so much because they disagree with what ICE is doing. They know deep down what ICE is doing is what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
They're angry because they're taking away their voters and sending them back to the fucking country that they came from. So of course they're going to be up in arms about it. Same way with like Mondani.
Yeah.
White people didn't vote for him. If ICE came into this city and cleaned up every fucking that was in this city and sent them back, you really think that fucking Sanders would have won? No way in the world. Of course not.
What do you think about the capture of Maduro, like Trump doing that? And what do you think about, I guess, American imperialism and expanding to places like Venezuela? Trump is talking about invading Greenland. What do you think about that?
I know some people don't like the whole regime change thing, and I don't like it either. I don't think there's times that we should involve ourselves in these international affairs.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I look at it and I said, well, by doing this, we avoided a full-scale war, you know what I mean, invading the whole country, making it Afghanistan 2.0. I think that if you were going to do it, this was the smartest way. And then it did benefit us because now, obviously they did it for the oil. Yeah, sure, they wrap it up in communism. And Maduro is a communist, and he did ruin that country.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. The people were eating fucking zoo animals, going on the Maduro diet.
Yeah.
So I can't sit here and say he was all the way wrong. And gas prices are lower. Well, look, if you guys are pissed off about, food and how expensive food is, energy prices being low is going to bring down the cost of food. How do you think the shit gets here? You think it just comes magic? No. It's got to be taken from the farm, put on a truck. Truck has got to take it to get you know what I mean? There's a whole system in place for that. So with the lower energy cost, the food prices will go down. Hopefully inflation will go down. And then the people who are in Venezuela, they're going to need people that are going to have to go work on the oil rigs. And who do you think they're going to hire? They're going to hire the people who are there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's going to create jobs for them. Then the people who came here as refugees, they can go back now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people are saying, oh, it's going to create a lot more refugees. I hope it doesn't, but in theory, well, yeah, like you said, they should all go back since there's not a communist dictator and their home is safe. So I don't know, I still have some hope for Trump and what he's doing, but hopefully this doesn't turn into a shit show where...
It would have created a refugee crisis if we would have went in like we went to Afghanistan and started blowing shit up and killing everybody, then yes. But the way we did it now... It was the smartest move. You took out the problem in one swift night. We can now take and seize control of the country. There's nobody stopping us. There's nothing blown up. The infrastructure is still there. So for what reason would it create a refuge? I don't see it. I see it the opposite way.
Yeah.
Now, these people, you can go back. You can go back to your families. You can go get a job. You could survive. There'll be food. There'll be money coming into the country. Their stock market is up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how it was a bad thing, totally. No. Other than if you're a really serious isolationist, that we shouldn't stick our nose in these things, which I can agree on. But on the other hand, it was a really smart strategic move to level the playing field. And now we have control of this oil. We don't have a communist dictator in our backyard, and we're controlling this part of the hemisphere. Other countries do it.
Yeah.
Russia does it. China does it to Taiwan. They did it to Hong Kong. I mean, it's what it is, man. It's geopolitics, and we have to play the hand that we were dealt. And I thought Trump played it pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it shows a lot of these kind of I saw a lot of these big anti-Zionist accounts saying, oh, this is like imperialism. They're doing it for the Zionists. Only they are going to benefit. And you look at it, it's like, no, it actually is in America's best interest.
It was.
And it shows how some of these anti-Zionist brown people, they're just really anti-white. And they lump it with white people. They're just against Israel because they're using force and power to take over land. That's why they hate America, because they say it's stolen land and we came here and colonized the people. So it really shows that people shows their true colors. So what are your thoughts on I guess those types? It seems like a lot of the big anti kind of Zionist people are really just anti-white and
I mean, I've been saying this for years, that all of the people that say that they're anti-Jewish or they're anti-Zionist, they still see Jews as white people.
Yeah.
Like, I've said this for years, and people have asked me, like, oh, why don't you try radicalizing against the Jews? I'm like, because it's never going to work.
Yeah.
That's useless. They don't know the difference. They couldn't point to Israel on a fucking map.
No.
And you want me to sit there now and try to explain to them why and white people are not the same? I don't got time for this shit. None of us do. And those, like you said, those accounts on X, they're they when you boil it all down, the brass tacks bottom line, they don't want white countries to succeed.
Yep.
Period, end of story. Because they still see America and Europe as white countries, which they are, and they are holding a grudge against all of that from things that happened in the past. So, their opinion to me means less than nothing. Like, yeah, sure, you say that you don't like great, but
It's actually a bad thing, honestly. When I see these brown people saying they're anti, I just look at that as a problem because then you have these people who say Muslim Christian alliance, black white alliance.
Yeah, no.
It's like what are you talking about?
yeah, no.
The Jews wouldn't even be that big of a problem if it wasn't for them bringing in these black and brown people. That's like the number one issue. That's why we are.
That's why everyone's becoming radicalized now. I mean, yes, are the puppet master, and they use these other people as pawns and bioweapons against us, and then they think that we're too stupid to know the difference.
Yeah.
Well, we do, and we're not going to sit here and pretend like it's not happening anymore. It's right in our face. Our women can barely walk down the goddamn streets sometimes because of this shit. And you guys brought them here. Now you want to pretend like we're going to align with you? No, absolutely not. You're our fucking enemy. You all are. And I've always said this. I'm all for white unity across the plane.
Yeah.
Whether you're Christian, you're pagan, you're an Odinist, you're Italian, you're from Poland, you're from Belarus, wherever.
Yeah.
You're white, you're European. You guys need to work together, all of us, and put the little differences aside. We can argue about it always later. But for right now, there's a bigger opponent in front of us.
Yeah.
So let's focus on that and win that war.
Yeah.
And then after that, everything goes up for debate.
Yep.
You know? But no, we could never align with with these. You're not going to align with these because your culture, your morals are so drastically different. What could you possibly come together on? I have more in common with somebody who's from Germany than I have someone in common with someone who's from China. There's not even a comparison.
Yeah. Something you don't really talk about, and I've been seeing a lot recently, is there's people who say liberal white women are the biggest enemies, and then there's people who say stop hating, white women. Mm-hmm. They're not gonna change. They're gonna follow the men. That's kind of the group I'm kind of in. I'm like, if white men become men again and they actually stand up for what they believe in,
right.
stand up for their countries, the women will follow. And then there's these other people who say we have to punish these women for I guess voting, putting us in this situation.
I don't think that bashing our white women is going to benefit us in any way. I've never been on that side of things. Yes, there are some liberal white women who make very serious mistakes and have been led astray. But that's not completely their fault, because women are, it's in their nature to be led and to be guided, and sometimes they're very easily influenced. It's not saying that all women are dumb, but they're just easily influenced. So bashing them is not the answer. Trying to reach out to them is. Trying to teach them the error of their ways, trying to talk to them. Because women can be convinced if you can be, charismatic and have a good argument to change their minds. It's not terribly difficult. So, yes, but I do understand where certain people are coming from, where they're angry at the white liberal women. I'm angry at them too, because it's like they've turned their back on us. Mm-hmm. And we're only trying to protect them and trying to help them.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go on like an hour-long rant saying how horrible they are and they're all because I don't want to do that. That's not helpful either.
Yeah.
There's got to be a fine line that you walk, trying your best to change their minds.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that you can,
Yeah.
especially now with there's so much information out there, so many videos of horrible acts happening on trains, on walking down the street, getting robbed, getting stabbed. I mean, you could show them these things. And of course, they're going to come with the argument, oh, well, that's their structure and, you know, they're being oppressed and blah, 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 blah. But you can always counter those arguments. You say, well, no, they're not being oppressed. I mean, where are they being oppressed?
Yeah.
No one's them from this street corner over here. Sure, I want to, but it's not happening right now.
Yeah.
So it could all be changed. You just gotta be patient with people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's women just, I mean, Nick says it best, to be honest. Women just need to shut the fuck up, because even if you show them these things and you try to, you know, show the evidence, show the crime statistics, whatever it might be, their empathy has just been hijacked for so long and so strongly that they just have this empathy, and they'll literally die, as we just saw, for people who genuinely hate them because they have such, I guess, shame and guilt of being white. So women they just need to stay completely out of this topic.
Well, yes, I do agree that women, they don't need to be in politics.
Yeah.
Should they be educated about it and understand certain things? Of course.
Yeah.
But do they need to vote? Probably not. You know, do they need a man though that's going to guide them and help them along? And a man that they could put their trust in and say, I trust you to vote for my best interest and our families.
Yeah.
Yes. You see? Mm-hmm. So it's a two-sided argument. Like, yeah, the women have their part to play, but there's a lot of men that do too. You know? Yeah. So I've always been, when people ask me this question, I always tell them, like, look, it's a idea to turn the sexes on each other and have them arguing with each other. Say, oh, well, you did this.
Yeah.
And then, oh, no, you did that. Yeah. Oh, you're not being a man enough. Yeah. Well, you're an OnlyFans. Yeah. So it's like, and while we're doing that, we're hating each other, and it's driving us further apart. There needs to be some understanding somewhere along the line. And we have to, and I hate to sound like a hippie, but you got to learn to love each other a little bit.
That's true.
And see the good parts. Yeah. Like, women are great. Yeah. You know, they have a lot of love. They have a lot of empathy. They have their heart. I mean, they have more warmth than we do. We could be cold. Yeah. We could be methodical and, you know what I mean? And just like a fucking killer, because we're men, we're warriors. But them, it's not in their nature to be like that. Yeah. So you got to give them a little grace. Yeah.
Yeah, the last thing I kind of wanted to touch on before we wrap it up here is I wanted to kind of ask how much emphasis you kind of put into, I guess, training, learning how to fight, and actually standing up for your beliefs, because there's an epidemic in this right-wing sphere, especially when these ideas are becoming more and more popular, more and more mainstream. I see people popping up on Instagram all the time, you know, starting to say this like base stuff. But then there's been instances where someone gets pressed and they just get completely humiliated in public, or they, you know, come out and they have this very weird, odd past. So I guess how important is that to actually, you know, stand up for your beliefs? Because like, there's a clip of you at the airport when that black guy is pressing you, recording, and I mean, you said it to his face. And then I was in LA. We were literally in like Central, and there's just like everywhere. And I got basically jumped. I had to like fight off fucking 10 of them. So, and a lot of people won't do that. They'll say this stuff now that it's like cool and it's okay to say it, but they won't actually stand up and fight.
And say it and fight back. No. Well, look, I'm 37 years old. I work out religiously 5 to 6 times a week. I spar at least once or twice a week. And I'm always trying to stay as good a shape as I possibly can, because I know that day is going to come for me, that someone's going to try to do something. Yeah. And I want to be in the best physical shape that I can be so that I can fight back. That's always in the back of my mind. I don't train because I really like to exercise. I hate it, but I do it because it's needed.
Yep.
And I always suggest and advocate strongly for men and women too to take up a martial art. There's so many that you can do.
Yep.
I mean, if I was to tell you, take up Muay Thai, take up Jiu-Jitsu, take up Judo, learn these things, because even if you're a woman, it'll give you a better chance. You know, of course, have your weapon, have a weapon, if you can have a firearm, have one. If you can have a knife, have that shit.
Yeah.
But in case you don't, being in good shape and knowing how to handle yourself with just these, it makes all the difference in the world. You know, and the guys too, man. Like, I see a lot of guys, I'll go on my stream and I'll talk to people on Monkey and I'll see these guys and they're like, you know, 18 years old, 20 years old. They're very puny, they're very skinny. And I look at them like, what the fuck is this? Like, when I was your age, I could run through that fucking wall over there and I'd be fine. But there was like a strong wind is gonna blow you away.
Yeah.
And then they're just sitting there all day playing video games. And I like video games. It's great. I like to play. I love to play video games. But you playing it all fucking day and watching porn all day, that's not the end. Like, you need to get up. You need to strengthen your mind and strengthen your body. Yeah. And there's no confidence that the confidence that you will build, I should say, by taking up a martial art, you will carry it with you for the rest of your life. Always. And as a man, your woman wants two major things from you. She wants you to protect you. She wants you to protect her, I mean. Yeah. And she wants you to provide for her. You can't do those two things if you're a little bitch.
That's true.
So, if you're a guy out there, please, for the love of God, just walk into an MMA gym. You might get your ass kicked a couple of times, but then eventually you get better. And eventually you're dealing out the ass whippings. Yeah. And then you feel like a man, like the way you're supposed to feel, like a warrior. That's inside you. You know what I mean? It's in your DNA. All you got to do is give it fire. You got to fuel that fire. Yeah. So I think that's what I would tell every man, every woman. Please be fit, be trim. Said. Absolutely.
Well said. All right. Thanks for joining me. If anybody wants to see your streams, where can they find it?
You guys can check me out on crusaders.gg, Joker Waffen. You can follow me on X, Joker Waffen Friend. And pump.fun, pump the coin. You can always come over and check out Joker Coin. I stream there all the time. And thank you, Hermes, for always having a great interview, man. You always have wonderful questions. I appreciate you, and it's nice to see you.